Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamek. This is Limbus Company. Rebellion of Passion? Compassion. Something along those lines. In the last episode, we continued to get lore dumps, and now we've finally gotten our chance to go check out Vessel Masas, which is going to be combat, so it's probably going to be sea monsters. / PS Sloth Gloom. Oh hey, we can bring a full party now. But we did establish that they're also gluttony weak, so we should just go straight for our Heisha branch. That said, we might be a little bit lacking in wrath.
군주가 나선다.
That's what you bring, isn't it?
모이를 뿌리셨으니 흑수.
다들 연장체 의로움을 세우기 위해서라.
어디서 뱀 기어가는 소리 들리지 않아?
사후처리로구만.
이 명을 받 잠깐.
걸맞는
책임은 모두 내가 진다.
That works. I can never make you happy, can I? You're always complaining about the level. It's so big! Amazing! I didn't know there were remaining vessels of this class in Iberia. Ah, I espy her name here! 'Tis called the name Rebelion de las Masas. Rebellion de las Masas. Revolt of the Masses, is it? A name very much mired in peculiarity indeed. Honglu chimed in, for he was rather fond of its size being about the same as the boat from his home. Which Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or Indigo Elder's skiff. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mephi's size at most. Are you sure you can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you earlier yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs had already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concerns a few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Force are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should sufficiently be managed by Forced. Despite Utis's confident declaration, I couldn't help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience at the Great Lake was enough. Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gears, propellers, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephistopheles. They seem confident enough. It should be safe this time around, right? Are we taking that rope to climb up to the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us up to the ship. Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us board the lift. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Oi, are you two just gonna faff about down here? Man up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge, I was greeted by the extravagant interior that was as gaudy as the exterior. This isn't real cold, is it? Sure as shiny as heck in here. I've got butterflies in my stomach. AS. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious, not quite my style. Our young Nephi is also quite the excellent vessel, yet imagine the adventures we could embark upon aboard this vessel most lavishly decorated. New story mode is going to be sailing. As Forst and Utis were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. This must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts, but it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set to somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small islet? No islet there. Ah! Blimey, lass, you sure know how to sneak up on people. Mares! Haha, what? Did I actually surprise you? I didn't ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath those coordinates, collectively known as the Ear. Gramps' home. I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may ask? It is now understood why the promise to repair this ship was sufficient to earn their trust and the title of saviors. What's she on about? Someone get translating? Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statements from the village chief. Alongside information garnered from exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance this ship's repair has to the local populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequel and serological connections that poses a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend, don't you get so... Oh, that was mean, Force. That was very mean. To employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in more digestible language would be a pursuit of inefficiency. Lower the baton, I implore you. I shan't explain it in full. Ugh, I was wondering when Miss Smartass would start gabbing like that again. So what she's on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation of the village seems to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of fried food, most of them made for long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either. Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Faro Muerto? Some villages were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly that formidable, but... given that the state the villages are in, I doubt they have an easy time repelling those monsters. Indeed, and that brings us to the question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The lass and her granddad are about to visit their hometown. They're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers. To convince them, they're planning to use the fact they're from the same neck of the woods. The sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we're repairing their food supply plan too. Huh? What's wrong? It's, While the expressions were rather crude, Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The singer stared at him with mild surprise. 7 Heathcliff has shown that he can be rather smart on things that aren't high-level science, guys. I did too. Dante, you should be better than that. What's with them annoying looks? Wait, are you sods? You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do ya? Top-notch intuition? It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition has always been excellent. He'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for... I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here! And now with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? who just looks away from the usual chaos and asks Mares. Honestly, I'm surprised he was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate we won't last another year. But the Aja will. I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others too? Unlike Mares or Chief, they're not Aja. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aja for no reason than we're from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the Aja are? I had initially thought it to be a reference to a region, yet it also seems to refer to an affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's something like nest dwellers, though I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts backstreets people with open arms. Or maybe there used to be some rich folk? If they call themselves Nestoff's Aja here, does that make the Rebelion Aja too? Wait, in the world you came from, do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw them in the Fathoms, there were those terrifying things called the cuckoo spawns. However, as a general rule, it can be said that humans should be the only intelligent life forms in the city. Should be, not necessarily are. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on their race, like my courtesy is. And I've got pointed ears because I'm an Aja, though it's not a characteristic every Aja shares. The closest idea to what they are discussing appears to be, Don Quixote seems to be struggling to finish her sentence. Rassault stepped in to continue. By contextual clues and the manner of word usage includes the meaning of classification. The closest example in our world would be blood fiends. Similar external appearances to humans, different natures, comparable sapience. 'Tis of my belief that blood fiends are ostracized due to their nature that maketh coexistence with humans difficult. It may be that the Aja are also... I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. Then wherefore are they made subjects of suspicion and hatred? That's... well, language is new, but the idea itself is pretty familiar to the city folks like us. Think of feathers of fallen wings, kids born in the back streets, people replace their body parts with prosthetics. The form differs, yet in its essence we find the thread. Something about how we keep finding these similarities in ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in a distant world with different rules, races, and humans. Felt oddly discomforting. And the point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing up the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of this ship. This way. This ship tour may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Issue? Oh, that's not reassuring at all. Multiple life forms identified ahead, assumed to be Sea Terror Horde. The ship's radar system seems to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. They're the same monsters from yesterday! Executive Manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Damn it, are they the sea terrors you encountered? They look a bit different, but... yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Amia, please support us in the battle like you did yesterday. Canst thou fight, young mares? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Then, guys, find a place to keep mares as far as possible from the battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Mia, your job is to be the announcer. That's it.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が
행색이 이상하나. 그럼에도 이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Oh, that was Yi Seng talking. So if we want to see thunder, then we have to get a lot of pride. Actually, wait. Gain 1 blood flame. He's going to trigger answer me Heisho packs, which means that he will actually get enough blood flame to hang on to it. Okay, that's cool. Sweet! Enough envy resonance to give Heathcliff the guaranteed clash win here. Only 70 HP?
무상한 목숨. 불끈하게 지원해.
저 혈육도 보려내라.
打撃を与えましたドクターのようにラブテタ好きですね
튀울 수도 없겠구나.
ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした
혈육도 바로.
Leave some for the rest of us, Sinclair. Maybe these ones are easy kills, so we can warm up SP because they have very low HP, don't they?
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Hang on. Deep Sea Slider, Deep Sea Run. Wait, no. Deep Sea Slider, Shell Sea Runner. Is there a difference here? Inflict more potency on hit with against targets without sinking. Okay, good to know. One sloth and then as much gluttony as we can get. So that's a sloth.
자, 12수의 왼쪽에 잘 생각해보라고.
최근은 좋았어요.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
깔끔하게 물었군. 이건 예상 못했나봐. 깔끔하게 물어보는 것에.
Wait, why did that target Gregor? Sinclair should have had the burn. Well, actually,
조심하시죠.
ah, what the heck.
부리벙거리고 있다간 피가 끓어오른 두 개에게 쪼아먹힐 테니까.
You know what? We'll save up and we'll use it next turn.
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 털어.
숨통 끊기.
Oh man, they're skeleton dogs. Yikes.
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
And that's supposed to be a single coin attack, really?
더는 못 따라나.
敵は深手を負っています。
Nine hardened shell barge. Well, if I'm wondering how come Forst hasn't got her super attack yet, hasn't been charging up the blade, it's because I keep using gluttony skills.
날개를 펼고 발톱을 걸어. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 구름을 틔우고 바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라. 물 넘고. 다음은 어디로?
Oh. We still don't get to use the... I want to show off holidays at overclocked because I never get to see it.
한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍로가 무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
Do I think that there's going to be cutscenes making it a bad idea to go for another episode? I think I am feeling that, so we'll figure out what's up with the small tide next time. And maybe we'll actually get to see more ego use. We can't quite afford Ishmael yet, but I'm sure we'll be able to show it at least once.